Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 221. I hope you're all having a nice little Sunday, starting your day off nice and relaxed. Now sit back, relax and enjoy an episode of the RTG. And if you do enjoy, do me a favour and hit the thumbs up button. Like always, we're shooting for about 3,000 likes. If you can make that happen, I'll be a very happy Lasty. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and click the little notification bell. It means that you'll be notified when I upload a video and you won't miss an episode and all of that good stuff. So in today's video, we do need to go ahead and start our weekend league. We haven't done that yet. We have got two new players in our club that you will have seen in yesterday's episode. We've got Foot Birthday Da Costa. We've got Foot Birthday Havertz. There was a team of the season so far announcement. The market then crashed. And even though I bought them for what I bought them for, a total of 520k, they're now worth about 400k for the both of them. Yep, we've lost a lot of money. So I have no one to blame but you guys for picking the vote that instead of using the loans we should spend our coins. It's totally your fault. It's not my issue at all. I hope you like the fact that I don't have coins anymore. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but at least we're running rampant in the weekend league with Kai Havertz getting himself a goal there to start things off. We are also about just over a month since I last got a haircut, so you'll have to excuse me as I begin to look scruffier and scruffier every single day. I'm doing my very best to keep the sides short, and I can do that with a beard trimmer, but I don't really dare do much else. So I hope you guys, if you guys have any tips on haircuts, I'm not going to buzz it off because I think my hairline would not, I don't know if I'd look good bald. I really don't. I wouldn't look good with a skinhead, that is for sure. But still, let me know if you've got any like hair cutting techniques that can keep things looking at least somewhat neat. But anyway, this first game is obviously going really, really well. I do need to put my phone on silent so that it doesn't ping again. But this guy just wouldn't quit. So we're in game 1 of the weekend league. Normally we play about 12 FIFA minutes and get a rage quit. And for some reason, it just wasn't happening in this one. This guy really wanted to play the whole 90 minutes. Fair enough. Fine. If you really want your rivals' rank points, that is, of course, totally fine. But I wasn't going to let up. There's no prisoners in the weekend league, is there? You just got to go for it, right? No Mr. Nice Guy. Well, sometimes there is, because sometimes you guys are Mr. Nice Guy to me, and you let me have victories. But hey, there's no way for me to tell if it's one of you guys or not to like give someone a few goals or let them have the win. When we're not up to 14 wins, we need to try and win every single game possible. So then I came up against this, which isn't really the greatest of teams for this time of the year, but a few good players, especially in like Konate, Christian Fuchs. His strike force was a bit weird, but they all had pace. So like Mane's obviously quite good. Keita Balde-Diao is kind of like a throwback player to previous FIFAs. He used to be really good on old futs. And then this Sarr for Watford. My God, I really struggled against him. He was only the 82 rated version as well. It wasn't like it was even the Future Stars one, which looks really good. So maybe in the future we could potentially try that card, because like if this one was causing me so much trouble, surely the Future Stars would be very potent in front of goal. But we did go 2-0 up, like kind of against the run of play. This guy was really good at his dribbling. Even with the likes of Madison and stuff, I found myself just getting dribbled on. I couldn't really do much about it. I couldn't really stop it. And we give away a penalty. 75 minutes on the clock. He is going to step up with... is it Gini Wijnaldum he takes it with? Yeah, and he's going to hit me with a little Panenka. Cheeky fella. But that's fine, because we were able to hold out the game. 2-1 victory. Probably... like you can see that that's a really close game. I might have just about edged it, but when I was writing my little notes on Excel and doing my updates for my record on who scored goals, I felt like I got quite lucky in that game. So yeah, GG's to that guy. So then we come up against this. This is a nice team. There's lots of very good, usable players in that. But we need to push forward. We've got lots of very good, usable players in our squad. More so than this guy, actually, I think. But he did have Havertz as well. Havertz actually gets a nice early assist for Neymar to score the goal. We are playing that 4-2-3-1. So we're not seeing as much action from Zola. We're not seeing as much action from Douglas Costa, especially, who was, of course, a striker last week. But Havertz is getting so very involved, and Neymar's obviously doing the business as he always does anyway, as my favourite player on Ultimate Team. But despite going 1-0 up, we literally get pretty much kick-offed. He scored only a couple of minutes after that. And I scored only a couple of minutes after that again. Here we get through with King Kai, and with the goalkeeper coming out like that, as long as I could push out a little bit wider, it just opens up that angle to finesse it round the goalie. So we are back in the lead. Neymar then knocks out to Havertz into Douglas Costa this time, who Berber spins, completely sells both the defender and the goalkeeper, and we go 3-1 up at half time. Looking like this one could go alright though. Again, not the easiest of games. It was a 50-50 possession. We both had roughly the same amount of opportunities, but I was just about doing right. But lovely little ball that from Havertz over to Neymar. Goalie gets the first one, but I am able to get a pretty lucky rebound onto the end of that, and we're going to get a 4-1 rage quit after about 50-something minutes. So at least we've got our first rage quit of the weekend league, and that takes me up to 3-0, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 3-0 right there. So there's a little intersection here in the middle of the episode where I am able to complete a few things. So I spent a bit of time in the online friendlies mode just with one of my mates, because there's a La Liga objective, guys, where if you have like a full La Liga squad, you are able to go in against your mates and play like 8 games each, so you can go 1-0 up and rage quit or whatever it is, however it works. And if you just play it against your mates, you can get it done nice and quick. But there's I think it's like 5 rare players from La Liga all in the same pack, just like a 5 rare La Liga goal pack. Now, if you get it, you could potentially save it for whenever La Liga Tots is. I think it's normally one of the last ones, though. So when we unlock it in a little bit here, I'm not going to go ahead and wait. I am going to go ahead and just open it up. Because, hey, there's a Team of the Week moments Messi at the moment. It'd be nice to be able to pack him, right? So you're able to see like how my players have done after the first few games of the Weekend League. Kai Havertz's record is actually really, really good. Surprisingly good, to be fair, considering he doesn't feel the greatest on the ball, and he was only been on 6 chemistry so far. I haven't played enough games yet to get him up to 7. He doesn't feel like a Neymar or a Douglas Costa, but he's really getting the job done. He's like positioning and ability on the ball is very, very solid. So obviously we've had the notification that Tots so far is coming. I'm pretty sure we're probably all just going to call it Tots, but it is Tots so far. I assume because the league hasn't technically finished, and it would be a silly thing to annoy all the leagues by like, hey, this is the team of the season, even though it's not actually finished yet. But we reach our level 30 reward. Who's the best pick? Well, I'm going to go for Fred. I think that one was pretty obvious. You guys probably knew that I was going to go for him, as I've mentioned it a few times over the last couple of weeks. But they're all very different players, and I think all pretty good players in their own right. So I think there's a good option for each and every one of those 3 players. Like if you have a Serie A squad, that Belotti could be actually quite good. Is it Belotti? I think it's Belotti. And then Carrasco does look like an insane little card. He's got lots of good stats about him. But we have Neymar, we have Overmars. We've already got quite a lot of good left-sided players, and Douglas Costa now, of course. So, yeah, it's difficult for us to even think about bringing in a left-sided player. So I just got Fred because he links to David Luiz and all the other Brazilians that I've got in my club. Whether or not he finally gets a starting place in our squad, I don't know. But he can certainly make the bench and maybe come on for a little bit, and we'll see how he gets on. See if he feels all right on the ball in game, and see if he's strong enough and can make some tackles. Because I'm hoping that he could. So I open my 5 rare gold La Liga players, and I get a board, but nothing else really insane. It's just William Carvalho, so just an 83. But considering it was free from doing like half an hour's worth of objectives with a mate, it wasn't really the biggest pain. So we'll take an extra few fodder players for the club. I'm going to stick a Sentinel on Fred because I do want him to, although he's like a box-to-box mid, kind of looks like that, I want him to have better defensive stats, better physical stats. I want him to be able to defend well. And for now, Coman is going to make his way off the bench, I guess, and we're just going to rock with all of those colourful different card types on our bench now as our substitutes. Kent obviously making his way back onto the bench because I forgot to put him there the other day, and I don't know what I was thinking. Like, how can you not have Ryan Kent on your bench? If you don't have him on your bench, you're doing it wrong. I'm telling you, unless you've got a mega team or you unfortunately took the Celtic player instead, James Forrest. So we go into another game. This was actually from the start of Saturday. So those few games were from Friday. And then these games were a couple from Saturday. And we come up against a FUT Birthday Mbappe. It's the very first match. Like literally early afternoon on Saturday. So about a day and a half into the weekend league. About halfway through the weekend league. We're only 3-0 and we're already coming up against some pretty big squads. So I feel like the levels of casual players have dropped off even further, and the people that are in the weekend league are really going to give you a match. I noticed a couple of weeks ago I was getting a huge amount of rage quits. Not so much anymore. That seems to be a thing of the past, and things are going to get a lot more difficult. But I imagine with the start of TOTS coming like next week, I don't know when we would start getting red player picks that were TOTS. If that happens, of course, I hope it does, because if not, I'm not playing the weekend league anymore, that's for sure. But we didn't get, I'm pretty sure the first week of TOTS last year, so community TOTS, which is what we'll get like next week, I guess, off of the vote. I'm pretty sure we didn't get them in red, like in the first week. You have to remind me if I'm wrong there, though. So it could be the week after that, which is normally Prem TOTS. If that's the case, then it would be kind of cool. Yeah, we start getting like TOTS red players. That's when the weekend league gets, one, a little bit sweatier, but two, you probably get a larger player base coming back into the weekend league. So maybe those first like 10 games are a little bit more okay and less sweaty, and then when the matchmaking really starts kicking in, that's when you're obviously going to start to sweat against people who are really going for those wins to get their red Prem TOTS players. So this game, although he had that Mbappe, he was super high pressure the whole game. Like, played pretty high, high depth and stuff, and was really rushing me and stuff. But we got fairly lucky with the way that we attacked. We were moving quite fluidly and quite quickly, and it enabled us to get a few goals in quick succession. And we find ourselves 4-0 up in this game. And I feel like this guy had pretty much given up at this point, because I score a couple of chip goals against him and stuff, and we are 5-0 up. So for birthday Mbappe, as good as he is, was sat in David Luiz's back pocket, and that was the comment that I left on my Excel spreadsheet. So I'd try some audacious stuff there. We're going to come away with just a 5-0 win. It could have been more, I guess, because there were plenty of times I was through one-on-one. But hey, instead of padding the stats, I decided that we'll just stop at 5-0 and try and get some nice goals, and they just didn't quite pan out. So that's going to be 4-0. The perfect start, I guess. Although it would have been nicer to have a few more rage quits. We've just had the one so far. And then we come up against this, a good squad. Lots of good players in here. But what I would say about this guy is that you'll see from the first clip here exactly how this fella played. Pretty much all the defensive players and stuff just behind the ball constantly. And he'll just jockey with Kante or Fred. He'll hardly push me. And as you can see, I can just sit here on the ball. I can even stop sometimes, and that's the only time where he'll really actually bring a player out to try and tackle me. This is where we're at in some games of FIFA. It's so boring. Finally, I find a little gap, and we are able to score off of that complete little boring segment right there. But yeah, this was a not enjoyable game in the slightest. Just like super defensive, super playing the AI defending game, just jockeying with those defensive midfielders, trying to let everything else do the work. And I don't know, I prefer to rush out and try and make a tackle. It's probably a stupid idea, but I don't know. There's not much more to say. It's just boring otherwise, isn't it? So we're 1-0 up at half time. Excuse me. Can't shake this cough. I just want it to go. So 1-0 up at half time, but he does push through and get a goal there to make it 1-1 after 52 minutes. Unfortunate, quite early in the second half. We're obviously a little bit asleep still. And then he does push forward and get his second shot on target, and for some reason Van der Sar's, I mean, obviously Van der Sar's not going to save that. It's a very clear-cut effort, but 2 shots on target for this guy, and he wins the game 2-1. It was I think I might have only had 1 shot on target. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Goalkeeper's not really saving much there. What a boring game that was, and we end up getting our first loss. So be it. We'll move on in tomorrow's episode, and we'll get cracking into a few more of that mid-section of the games, which are hopefully aren't much harder than the ones we've been having so far, because although we've been getting some victories, it feels like the games have been quite difficult. 10 goals, 8 assists in 6 games for Havertz. How about that for a pretty good record so far? I can open up my Excel spreadsheet actually and move it over to this screen here and talk you through it. So far, Douglas Costa's got 3 goals, 1 assist in the 5 games. It's not bad, considering he's a wide cam now. Neymar's got 8 goals and 4 assists. That's obviously really good. 12 contributions in 5 games. And then 6 goals and 8 assists for Havertz. Really doing well from that central cam spot, getting involved, getting those contributions. He's currently got 14 in 5 games. Really happy with that. Hopefully he continues to play well throughout the weekend league. And hopefully we can get up to our 14 wins with no real stress, or not much more stress than we've already experienced anyway. That's going to be the end of the episode. Do me a favour, fellas, and hit me with a thumbs up. And ladies, if you're out there watching. But yeah, hit me with a thumbs up. We're aiming for 3,000 likes. Why don't you come and subscribe to the channel if you're new? I thank you for that. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links are down below. Much appreciated, everyone. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you to those of you that did click on the Elgato video yesterday. I really do appreciate that. It means the world to me. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take it easy, everyone. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.